This is the value of wrestling. This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Hey, it's your boy Miguel T with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I have a guest for you, folks.
Yeah, that part. Hey, man, shout out the Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big O's, San Jose. We gonna shut the shit down. Love and respect, though, right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Oh, you didn't know. Looks like we are live and we are here and we are rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, felt like some technical issues coming down the line, but I think we got it and we are going to get it going. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Value Wrestling here on YouTube, and this is your post-show review for AEW Dynamite for February 28, 2024. Oh. And if you think we complain too much, you might as well turn off this show right now and walk away, because we're about to blast this off into a whole new atmospheric. We may be on Pluto by the time we get done with this launch, because it is going to be a hot one. Because Huntsville, Alabama, yay! They didn't even pop for their own selves. We were in Huntsville, Alabama for AEW Dynamite tonight. The last Dynamite for Sting. The last Dynamite before AEW Revolution on Sunday. This, ladies and gentlemen, was a night of tears and heartbreak and pure garbage. Anyways, let's get into it. Of course, you know the man sitting across from me tonight. The one, the only.
Paulus, Clarke.
Oh, believe that, ladies and gentlemen. And you know me, I'm the one. Nope. There we go. The machine's running a real slow tonight. I don't know. Diving in hot mess, it's a effing mess. You're right, Mr. Miguel. I'm the big time, and I'm here. Things are kind of working slow for some reason. I don't know why, but hopefully everything gets crossed the right way. It looks like we're up and running perfectly fine, so the system's just making it look slow. But anyways, we were in Huntsville, Alabama, and the crowd went mild, as the world was told, and it's Sting's last Dynamite, and we're going to get a banger, they say. Yes, it's going to be an explosive episode, they say. Yeah, all right. Anyway, we start off the show with Hangman Adam Page coming down with the one crutch. He's in cowboy gear, not cowboy-esque gear, but we know how serious he is, right? Anyways, Page is aware that it doesn't look promising when AEW started. It was a new endeavor, but for him, it was a goal, a chance to make the most of the world in front of him. He did that. Winning the title in 2021 was the biggest accomplishment. Tony doesn't want us to talk about this show. No, Tony doesn't want us to talk about anything he does, because what Tony did tonight was hashtag fire Tony would be my statement at this point. Hashtag fire Tony. I guess we got to send that all the way up the corporate ladder to Shad Khan. Shad Khan, best piece of advice: fire your son. Thank you.
There you go.
Anyways, he did that. Winning the title in 2021 was one of the biggest accomplishments of his career, which is why it hurts so much to have the opportunity to come in front of him again and have this happen. Page says that AEW decided that there would be a triple threat match. He said it was horse crap. He meant it. He suggested it should happen in a singles match, but Page had the wrong two guys in mind. He will not apologize to Short or Joe, but he will tell us the truth, and this Sunday he will not be able to compete. Sword Strickland is here, presumably to bask in the glory of an injury, because he can't bask in the glory of his former friend. Keith Lee, yes, Keith Lee. Does anybody know where Keith Lee is?
Where?
Hold on. Give me 1 minute. I've got to make a phone call real quick. Yes, is this the Huntsville, Alabama police? Yes. I think there's a missing person by the name of Keith Lee. Yes. Some people might call him Bearcat Keith Lee. You might bask in his glory, but he seems to be missing, and we need to put in a missing persons report. You can get right on that. Yes. I think the first person you need to talk to would be Tony Khan. Yeah, that would be your first lead. Thank you. Sorry, folks. Had to, file a missing persons report, because, who's the last person to see Keith Lee?
It's been beyond 48 hours.
No doubt about it. Maybe it needs to be a welfare check. I don't know. We'll contact them back after the show. Anyways, The crowd is very pro Swerve. He says the last 6 months they've been to war. They've tried to kill each other. Maybe Swerve crossed the line a bit. He didn't expect this. He targeted Paige because all he has done, saying he doesn't respect Paige. He doesn't respect Paige would be a flat-out liar. But the thing about fate is you can't escape it and you can't stop destiny, and his destiny awaits him this Sunday, which brings out Joe. Joe's gonna kill you. Upset. Joe's upset that he wasn't invited to this little conversation. He comes out with the title, and the crowd loves Joe as always. Destiny, what do we have here? Two of the most bitter enemies trying to hug it out. A lot of lies are being told, and so he is here with some truth. First truth. They avoid making eye contact with him to avoid who the real man around here is. Secondly, although he doesn't know of Paige's presence in the match, he keeps hearing they're both young and hungry, but that's dumb. They're both battle-tested. They are hungry, accomplished wrestlers, but they are only hungry because Joe is starving their asses. And as long as he has the title, there will be no more meals come dinner time. He is Samoa Joe, the champion. Whether it's one or both, he's going to whip their butts. Swerve wants to explain who the hell he is. From unemployed to headlining pay-per-views, from cruiserweight to world champ, he is the same guy that trespassed another man's home, while the man that's home he trespassed is standing behind him with a crutch. Kind of a stupid, retarded comment. I mean, I expect a little more from Swerve to be a little more intelligent than have your back turned to the man whose house you broke into and taunted his child. But, I guess we're trying to get Swervey over here as a babyface tonight instead of just letting Swerve be natural. Anyways, he threatened his infant child. He's not only a career maker, he is a career changer. Joe won't know what to do with himself once Swerve is done with him. He may want to go back to commentary wearing a poncho again. Oh, we're going to make WWE references here. Which people are like, no, they should make WWE references. Why do they need to make WWE references? Anyways, who knows? Swerve is on the verge of making history. He will be champion this Sunday. Whose house? And before we can get a return, Paige nails Swerve in the back with the crutch. A headshot with the crutch. Paige grabs Swerve, yells that he will never have the title. He screams to Joe that he won't be champion. Swerve won't be champion. Paige will. Swerve will never be champion. Swerve is knocked out. Yippee-yi-cow-yay. This stuff was crap. I guess Hangman Page playing the heel, the babyface that came in and turned heel because he came in on the freight crutch. I'm not going to be in the match. Oh, no, I just tricked you. Hangman has become the biggest joke in AEW. I mean, he is as worthless as many face turns and heel turns as Sammy Guevara. He is. I mean, Hangman Page is about the same level to me as Wardlow. I don't care anymore. Hangman Page just needs to go away. He has lost all momentum, all direction. He is a waste of time. He does not deserve to be in this main event picture. He has added nothing to this main event match. And tonight, they really kind of diffused Swerve. Swerve wasn't intense as he normally was. It felt lackluster. It felt like they were trying to turn Hangman Page heel and make Swerve the babyface. Like they were trying to play into the babyface, which is a freaking long way to go about it, Tony. You're stupid. You're ignorant. You're dumb. You should be. #fire Tony Khan. You don't turn the heel babyface. You let the heel become babyface. Swerve is like on a Stone Cold Steve Austin-esque babyface turn. Leave it alone. Don't force it. Mr. Clarke, what did you think about this opening?
Crap. That's the only thing I can think of.
You know what? I'm stealing a line from Adam Pearce tonight.
I don't even have it within me to sit here and go on a rant about it. It's just like, what are we doing?
I'm going to steal an Adam Pearce line. I need a stiff drink tonight.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Make sure you join in the chat and the conversation. Tell us what you thought about tonight's debauchery. Anyways, from there, we get the Young Bucks who have arrived in a Ford. I'm sure it was a Ford Expedition. Guess the budget doesn't allow them to have a real limo or a Cadillac or something fancy. Anyways, they're here to talk. They're here to meet with Renee, who's wearing the most bizarrest outfit I've ever seen him wearing. I don't know what it was. Tonight is Sting's final Dynamite. She brings up Flair, and Nick says that it went great. Matt wonders if she has seen Sting yet. Matt says this is his final appearance. They're dying to see him. Thank him for all his contributions, but they also want to conduct his exit interview as they hold white bats. And this is the start of playing hide and go seek as the Young Bucks are seeking Sting, and Sting seems to be hiding, and we get the most stupidest waste of time in life, and the Young Bucks looking cheesier garbage. They don't even feel like EVP, like they should be like, how can they miss this up? Why don't they feel like the authority? They feel like jokers in their own company, like, they're EVPs. You feel they look stupid, they look like garbage, they're just jokes. I'm done. Hashtag tampon bucks. Thank you, Mr. Miguel Z. I appreciate it, Mr. Miguel Z. Very, very awesome. Hopefully we hear something back. Hopefully we can get one of our very first, and we will present it that way, but our very first interview right here on The Value of Wrestling. It would be awesome. Mr. Kirsch, if you're watching, hey, Miguel's reaching out to you. We appreciate you. Anyways, we open up with the first match of the night. It's the Black Belt Combat Club. Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, and Bryan Danielson versus FTR and Eddie Kingston. And this match went on too long. This match was just ridiculous, but we'll break it down for you, Kiss. Well, that's what we do here at The Value of Wrestling. Put the value back into wrestling. At least we try, but when it comes to AEW, I don't know how we can put any value back into it. But hey. Anyways, Eddie wants to start with Bryan, but Bryan is smiling his ass off. The bell rings, and Bryan, after some cheers for Eddie, tags in Claudio. They go shoulder to shoulder in the center of the ring. Neither one budging after a few moves. Uppercut to Claudio. They keep like ramming into each other. Neither one falls. So you're just like, okay, cool. Kick out of the corner. Claudio to the second rope. Shoulder check in. Sends Claudio down. Dax tags in. Tag to Bryan. Lock up. Side headlock takes down from Dax. Leg scissors break. Both men up. Another lockup. Side headlock from Dax. Again, Bryan shoots him to the ropes. Shoulder tackle sends Bryan down. Arm drag attempt, but Bryan with the scoop slam. They go for the leg scissors break again. Both men up. Tag to John. John to tag to Cash. John slaps Cash. Cash slaps right the back in the corner. John with the right. Cash hits his own uppercut chop. Another uppercut. John circles and hits his own. Another chop right. Cash is whipped. Kick out of the corner. Huge chop to John. They are in the center now. Headbutts for both men a few times. Uppercut from Cash. Another chop to John. Headbutt. Everybody in the ring. And the referee can't control a match because AEW referees suck. Because whenever everything breaks down, the referee just kind of stands there in the clusterfuck looking like, what do I do? Huh? What do I do?
Where did he go now? Where did he go?
Woosah. Anywho. Everybody's in the ring, and we go to break. And once we come back from break, Bryan has Cash in the ring going for a Mexican surfboard. He tags John in before pulling Cash back to his knees. John with a chop to the open chest. We get a cover for a 2. John with a figure 4, switching to the side. Dax runs in and stomps on John's hand. Then exits the ring with the Cash kick from John. Cash tries for a tag. John shoots him off. Claudio grabs him from the apron. Cash counters right to John, tag to Dax, kick to the entering Bryan, then a neck breaker to Claudio. He grabs John, whip, reverse, small package from Dax, covered for 2. Waist lock into a roll-up for a cover for 2. Second rope crossbody from Dax, cover for 2. John with a thumb to the eye, underhooks Dax, reverse tiger driver for a 2 count. Bryan in to stop it. Eddie enters to fight Bryan. Bryan laughs him off as the referee stops him. Claudio with a cheap shot to Dax. Bryan grabs Dax on the outside. He drops the arm onto his shoulder. Here comes Eddie to protect Dax, but Bryan picks the ankle and stops Eddie with boots over and over. The ref is trying to stop John and Dax, who are on top of a barricade. Bryan whips Eddie into the other barricade, then rushes with a low drop kick to Eddie. In the ring, John has the arm of Dax. Claudio stomps off the tag. Dax chops, uppercut from Claudio. Another Dax with the chop. Another side headlock. Claudio shoots him off and hits a big lariat for a cover for a 2. Claudio is pissed. We go to another commercial break, but we are back. Claudio has Dax hurt with the leg lock. John pins Dax down on his stomach. Bryan is up 2. He flies with a headbutt cover. John for a cover for a 2. John works on the left arm, back body drop from Dax. Tag to Bryan. He runs in to stop a tag to Kingston as Claudio pulls Cash down. Dax flies, gets a tag to Eddie. They trade chops in the middle of the ring. They get They each get 4 before Eddie takes over and corners Brian. He's about to go crazy with Brian with a thumb to the eye. Eddie with an exploder to Brian. In comes Claudio. Exploder. John enters. Big Larry. Eddie shoots right back up. They grab each other by the head. Eddie laughs. They go with the hockey fight. John kicks Eddie with a lariat out of the corner. Brian with a running knee. He shoots Eddie into the arms of Claudio. Giant swing to Eddie. Drop kick from Brian. Catapult to Eddie into the knee. Power driver from John. Good God. Cover for a 2. Dax stops the pin. BCG triple team Dax, but Cash is in for the save. Drop kick to Claudio. Back body drop to John to the outside. Clothesline to Claudio. Cash shoots Brian into Eddie, who hits a right. Big Bulldog from Dax off the top rope to Brian on the shoulders of Cash. Cover for 2. Claudio and John stop the pin. All 6 are slow to stand. Dax, John, and John up first. They trade chops. Brian and Eddie meet in the middle and chop each other a few times. Claudio and Cash do the same. And we have triple reversing back and forth chops. Everybody's chopping. Everybody chop. It's a chop fest. If you wanted a chopper, you could go on you could either watch this match or you could go on one of the infomercials and buy your own chopper. But this was a chop fest. Give me 1 second. I will get to your note here, Miguel. That is awesome. John drops Dax with elbows to the shoulder. Brian does the same. Claudio, too. All of them with elbows to the side of the head. John chokes up Dax. Ref is trying to get everyone else out of the ring. Sleepers all around. Brian screams for Eddie to tap. Eddie chants. He is up. Cash is up. Dax is up. They all back up with their respective opponents into the corner. We get some more chops in the corner from FTR and Eddie. BCC reverses. They mount for some elevated punches. Brian shoulders shouts orders, whips to FTR, who reversed and punched John and Brian in the face. Shutter machine to Claudio. John with the DDT to Cash. Brainbuster from Dax. Knee from Brian. Eddie tries for a fist, but Brian ducks. Captures a shoulder suplex. Running knee for Brian. Brian grabs Eddie by the arm. Stomps him in the face again and again and again and again. Brian sits on Eddie and pulls his head up, and we get a submission, and Eddie passes out to a submission, and Bryan Danielson picks up the win for the Black Cool Combat Club. This match went 21 minutes, 52 seconds. It went way too long. And Brian, of course, after the match won't release the hold. The ref tries to stop him, but Brian's trying to send a message. We know Brian and Eddie are going to fight at the pay-per-view Revolution for the Triple Crown. Who gives a damn about the Triple Crown? Continental Crown, whatever. Who gives a crap? I mean, we crowned Eddie Kingston this title. He had his glorious moment. Now Eddie Kingston's on the downhill of that mountain. Sorry, Eddie. I love you. And I think you're being disrespected in the way this is going. There's a good chance Eddie might win at the pay-per-view, but I don't know if it really does anything to catapult him forward. Like, I don't think he's going to gain any momentum off of a win over Brian. It'll be a comeback win because Brian made him look like a booch in here, choking him out, making him pass out. You don't choke out your champion before a pay-per-view. This was stupid. This was bad. This was another one of these cluster fudge matches that just, whatever. Mr. Clarke, the floor is yours.
On paper, the Blackpool Combat Club versus FTR and Eddie Kingston should be a pay-per-view main event. I mean, it's name value, and yet somehow, even as a TV match, you're just like, I care why. I don't. This has just gotten so hard, and I don't know if it's the booking. It's not the talent, because we know what the talent can do. It's just lack of direction, lack of vision.
Mr. Z, you have to ask TK about that. But I think we've seen Eddie Kingston rise to the top of the mountain, and that was the highest point he was ever going to get, is this Continental Crown. This Triple Crown thing that is dead. It has died. I mean, does anybody really care about the Triple Crown anymore? Is it as important and prestigious as they did to build this tournament, which they threw everything out? We ended the year, and they're like, okay, we're done with the tournament. We're never going to talk about it again. It's garbage. It's garbage. The titles that Eddie Kingston are it's garbage. Ring of Honor doesn't have a world champion because it's tied up into this garbage crap. Let's split the titles up. Let's end this Triple Crown bull crap. Let's just end the Continental Crown. Next year's tournament, if this is how we're going to build to next year's tournament, because this is supposed to be yearly, I don't think anybody's going to care by the time we get to December. I really don't. And Mr. Z, that is awesome. We can't wait to get with Mr. AJ Kirsch in the future and get that going. That is awesome. Thank you. Much respect to you, brother. Thank you for putting in that effort. Tell me when he's got free dates, and we'll plan it out. And with you being there, so I know we'll have to plan around your work schedule. But that is awesome. We will talk more about that later. But thank you. That is awesome. Much appreciation. I'm excited. I hope all you get excited. This is going to be awesome opportunity. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I don't know if you read the notes there. He said that he that.
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
it. I'm looking at something else for a second.
Okay. But that's awesome. AEW will be, not AEW. AEW is on the mind because it was such a crap show. The Value of Wrestling will be bringing you your very first live interview. What an awesome opportunity. Can't wait to work with you, Mr. Z, and Mr. Kirsch on that in the near future. But yes, no, whenever he's got free, let me know, and we'll get that taken care of. Anyways, backstage, Chris Jericho is asked about his history with Atlantis Jr., the son of one of Jericho's first opponents in CMLL. We're getting lion-hearted Chris Jericho tonight. Yay. Don't really care. Jericho goes over the past talking about the legend of CML. Atlantis was a great opponent, a great partner, a great mentor, and a great friend. He requested to have this match with his son. Our band is booming, dude. Yes, our brand is booming. We are cooking. We're going to get it ready. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Now is the time to get on the bandwagon. Now is the time to subscribe. Now is time to become a part of the Value Wrestling, because I promise you, we got some things cooking that are going to blow it out of the water. We're going to take it to the next level. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, though. What if we don't get AJ Kirsch, but instead Joseph Joe Brody?
I don't know. I did. So.
And for those of you who don't know, that's a character that AJ Kirsch plays in Hood Slam, among other places.
Sweet. No, I think you know. I think we'll probably get AJ Kirsch initially. Maybe that can be another interview down the line where we spend that too. But that is awesome. So anyway, Jericho talks about all the things he wants to face the son of his to repay the favor tonight. He will show Atlantis a few things he's never seen before tonight. He will show Atlantis what Chris Jericho, Corazon de Leon. Yeah, lion-hearted, long way to get there. Mr. Z. Yes, he is also the voice for Buzz in WWE 2K20 and 2K21. So that is awesome. Yes, he's that, and he's been a big part of a lot of things. Of course, he was on Raw this week. He was at Stockton Con, so a lot of opportunity there. Mr. Z, I don't know if you want to cover your ears because I'm about to. I'm sorry, buddy. Anyways, the next moment, we had Tony Schiavone in the ring, and Tony Schiavone introduces us to the one, the only, the aerial assassin himself, Will Ospreay. Now, earlier today, Will Ospreay had flown Delta Airlines. Delta Airlines had lost his luggage. He went to Twitter to complain about that, but eventually they found his bags. Will Ospreay came out in the greenest of greenest tracksuits, looking like a bad version of Chris Pratt, getting ready to go play Star-Lord in the next version of Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, no, exactly.
Corn wants their tracksuit back.
No, I appreciate you bringing some joy to it. That is awesome. But yeah. No, Will Ospreay came out looking like Chris Pratt, ready to play Star-Lord in the next episode. This man, I don't know who had a bigger, cheesier grin. Him coming out to Knight or Finn Balor, when Finn Balor would always be cheesy smiling, even when he was trying to play a heel and still had a cheesy smile on his face. And then this fool came out and he talked about nothing. Like, I don't even know. He was like, he comes out, he says hello to everyone. He says his obligations with New Japan Pro Wrestling are done. He got pissed with the missus. He got drunk with the missus, if you don't know, over in somewhere, Barbados, I guess. He went over to the islands and got drunk and pissed drunk in the Barbados. Flew over here, Delta lost his bag, but they found him. He came down wearing his green tracksuit, looking like Kermit the Frog on leg day. And I guess, the 12-year-old kids or the 5-year-old kids or whoever in the audience got a kick out karate. But most importantly, he's here for full-time work, and he is all in. He beat Orange Cassidy, he's beat Kenny Omega, and he's even pinned Chris Jericho and Wembley. The territory might be different, but he's used to this. He's been rolling with the Callis family, and if this is the Ospreay I'm getting, I'm done. I mean, I'm just like this. I thought Ospreay was going to bring something. This segment, maybe he's just that happy to be here. I don't know. I didn't expect this when you invited Will Ospreay to get out here. I didn't figure we were going to get Will Ospreay trying to almost outdo like R-Truth or something. I don't know. I know that's probably a little too extreme for the moment, but he was just too giddy. Anyways, Don Callis is out with the Callis family. Powerhouse Hobbs, Takeshna's here. They're paying him a lot of money, possibly staying in catering until All In. Yes. Powerhouse Hobbs, Takeshna's here with Don Callis. It's interesting to see the Don Callis Last Supper because Sammy Guevara is still in the picture, which is absolutely funny. Hobbs gets a hug. Callis gets a hug. Takeshna and Ospreay don't hug. Ocean Spray, as we'll probably be calling him within a few weeks, I'm sure. But Don makes a point of being by Will's side with the win over Omega Jericho. How to top this, having a match of the decade with Takeshna. We want Will. Takeshna and them shake hands. Will turns to walk away. Takeshna pulls him back in. Takeshna, they do a stare down. Takeshna turns the other way, and then Ospreay brings him back in. They do this like oh, are they going to turn on each other? No, this one, no. It was dumb. We get Ospreay chants briefly. It didn't really hold anything. I don't know what we're going to get out of this. Yes, on paper and what we should see in the ring, these two should bring a great, awesome match. This may be the match of the night. But any build to the match, it's not there. So we just have to go with what's in the ring and hopefully find a positive spin for what happened in the ring. This was garbage. If they're presenting Will Ospreay as going babyface, I don't know if that's going to be the best thing for this man. Freshly into AEW, I mean, he can get the cheers, but I don't know if this is the babyface character we're getting. Mr. Clarke, the floor is yours.
Even if you're going to have Will Ospreay as babyface, this is not the way to do it. You do it through matches, and you do it. Promos don't really have to be that hard from a storyline perspective.
I can't believe they hadn't. I can't believe they hadn't come down to that stupid green tracksuit. I don't know. Maybe he was still pissed. Maybe he was still pissy. You know.
Jeez, I hope so for his sake. I'm sorry, but why is it every guy that comes from New Japan to AEW dresses down? They don't have the star power. They don't show off the star power like they have when they're in New Japan.
No.
Will Ospreay has an awesome entrance. Will Ospreay has an awesome aura. He has an awesome presence. But every guy from New Japan winds up dressing down and not doing as good as they should be when it comes to AEW's platform.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for this Will Ospreay presence that you're talking about because I didn't see anything tonight. Like you're saying he has an awesome presence and an awesome aura. Tonight, I just saw a man come down in a green tracksuit. I didn't know. I thought he was going to start skipping to the ring with that cheesy ass grin.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry. He looked like. I mean, he came out looking like Chris Pratt more than Will Ospreay to me. I just like. Oh God. But yeah, that's the Will Ospreay we got for the first introduction. Hopefully, we get something. I hope. Yeah, Revolution. We get Will Ospreay like we want him. Anyways,
Aerial Assassin, not the Guardians of the Galaxy wannabe.
Anyways, from there, well, hey, you know what, Tony Khan? Let's have a conversation. Tony Khan, you bitched and complained that Jinder Mahal didn't deserve a world title, that people, earn title shots, right? And you even brought back because the EVPs don't anyone to look better than. Well, yeah, that is true. Tampon Bucks don't want anybody looking better than them. You're true. It seems to be more true than you want to believe because everybody who comes in gets watered down. We get watered down versions of them. I mean, even CM Punk, who was doing everything he was supposed to, and then they had issues between him and the Young Bucks because he was outshining them. I mean, hell, he was on Collision doing better ratings than they were doing on Dynamite. So, I mean, you hate to say it, and I hate to believe it, but the more I go along and see how they take big names and water them down, you're like, I hate to say it's true, but hey, Tony, You complained that Jinder Mahal got a title shot for no reason, that he had lost all these matches. He hadn't won a match in years, and blah, 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 blah. And you had this big, nobody, blah, blah, blah. Everybody earns their title shots here at AEW. Everybody. Okay. And then you brought the ranking systems back to prove a point, right? Oh, you have to be in the ranking systems. You have to win matches. You have to be ranked. So what did you do tonight? You gave us Orange Cassidy versus Nick Wayne in an open challenge match. So here's the lifesaver. If it's an open challenge and anybody can answer it, anybody who's qualified, you're a fucking liar, you fucking fuck. This is stupid. Who has Nick Wayne beat?
Besides himself in the lower regions?
I mean, Nick Wayne's the fourth most important person on the stable. I mean, his mom is more over than he is. Nick Wayne should, be on WWE playing Jimmy to R-Truth. That would be the best role for him at this point. How does he qualify for an international title match against Orange Cassidy? When Orange Cassidy is feuding with the Undisputed Kingdom, I got when you were having them face, he was going through them. Still stupid to me because it doesn't make sense. And Roderick Strong hasn't had one fucking match leading into this pay-per-view, but Orange Cassidy's fought every week leading into this pay-per-view. Kind of ass backwards how you build your champion and a contender. Tony Khan, you suck. You don't know how to book nothing. You should be fired. # fire Tony Khan. Let's end this bullcrap because, you're going to get Nick Wayne an open challenge. It's an open challenge, so it's okay because everything is awesome. We work together and everything is awesome. Bullcrap. I know Nick Wayne didn't win the match, and that's fine and dandy because if you would have won the match, it would have been a whole different story. And, of course, then you had Matt Taven and Mike Bennett out there to interfere, and then... Well, initially you had the Nick Wayne's mom and Christian out there, and then they got with Kill Switch, and they got thrown out. And then Matt Taven and Mike Bennett came down, and then Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta came down and chased them off. And then Daniel Garcia showed up and then he just had too many people interfering in this stupid match. I'm not even reviewing this match. I'll tell you, it went 10 minutes too long, and this person gave it a 5-star rating. There's no way you can give Nick Wayne a 5-star rating. Go ahead, the floor is yours. Because I just...
I don't know what to add. Because we're so
this fool gave it a 5-star rating. Are you on? You're over there with Dave Meltzer. Oh yeah.
Nah,
5 stars.
Father James Mitchell segment. Certain things, certain substances.
How do you give this star? How do you give this match more a 5-star match? Where? What drugs are you on? Where was there 5 stars in this match? Somebody debate me. Somebody explain this to me, please, for the love of 5 stars for Orange Cassidy versus Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne that is still so green, it's amazing. And you had more interference in this match than ever needed to be. All to build to a 8-man tag on Collision, right? Because I think now we have Daniel Garcia teaming up with Nick Wayne. I don't know. It just Mama Wayne doing. Never mind. Yeah, Nick.
That's all, folks.
And of course, then Roderick Strong came out at the end to attack OC. Why? I'm not reviewing this match. I'm sorry. It's not a 5-star match.
No, not at all.
It was a normal Orange Cassidy match, but I don't know where you get 5 stars. Nick Wayne is not that good to even be evaluated to be in a 5-star match. Nick Wayne didn't do crap in this match to really be. He had some great moves. He got a decent, Fisherman's suplex was really nice. I'll give him that, but there was no 5-star magic here. Who are you and what crack are you smoking? 5 stars. And Tony Khan, open challenge, so that's how we're going to cover that. So let's just throw the rankings back out the window, and we're just open challenge. An open challenge doesn't even open. You don't even... It was announced earlier it was an open challenge, and Nick Wayne was going to answer it. That's not how an open challenge works. I've never seen an open challenge. Usually the champion comes out and goes, I'm offering an open challenge. And maybe they'll say next week, and then we'll find out who's going to face them. But usually it's the champion who says, it's an open challenge. Not the crap booker that you are. Tony, why are you not out there hiring Scott D'Amore? Scott D'Amore is right there, ready for you to take in. I hope Triple H signs him. I hope Triple H signs him, brings him in, and lets him work with Shawn Michaels and NXT. I mean, think about this. If you had Shawn Michaels coaching the next guy who's supposedly going to take over NXT, CM Punk, and then you have Scott D'Amore there to help them with their creative process, NXT would be totally killing it. Not in. If you didn't watch NXT this week, I don't know what to tell you, because NXT this week was awesome. It was a damn good NXT. That crowd is lit. The energy that was going there, and there was a lot of great things. And we got the return of Shawn Spears. Woo, baby! NXT and WWE is doing it right, and I'm telling you, Ricky Starks. I don't even know where MJF is. We don't know anything about MJF. And Tony Khan, you're blowing that, because even if MJF is out injured, why aren't you selling the storyline you've been preaching to us for 2 years? The
bidding war of 2024.
The bidding war of 2024, and we've heard nothing about it. MJF is dead. I mean, he's going to get a great pop when he comes back, but I mean, you've lost all momentum that you had for MJF. Why are you not doing something talking about MJF and this whole bidding war of 2024? Why are you not cooking that to leave his name in the crowd? So we're wanting him to come back and hopefully come back to AEW, even though most of us go, please, MJF, go to WWE because it's going to be safe. Go be with Cody. Look where Cody is. Look where Lexis King is. Look where Jay Cargill, with one match under her belt, pretty much is. Look where Andrade El Idolo in just a couple of nights has risen to. Look after one night in NXT what Shawn Spears feels like. I mean, I don't know what to say. Why are we not using MJF in the storyline? It's just like MJF is dead. There's no talk. I get he's injured, but why are you not keeping him relevant to keep him hot? He's going to come back, and yeah, he's going to get a great pop when he returns, but I don't know. I mean, MJF will get himself over it, and that's the great thing. MJF's that talented, but I really wish you would keep MJF out there.
Well, let's also look at the other side of that equation. The fact that the Undisputed Kingdom don't feel like anything special since World's End.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they've been revealed, and okay, and...
Oh, the Undisputed Kingdom is a joke. The devil thing died. I mean, I agree with a lot of people there, but yes, Miguel, Corny's probably going to have an aneurysm because it was reported tonight that the lover boy, I said it earlier, what's his name? Dennis Condrey, the lover boy, Dennis Condrey was at AEW. And if you don't know, Dennis Condrey used to be a part of the Midnight Express, managed by James E. Cornette. Yep.
Original NWA days.
And even original NWA days, as bad as it could be, even WCW Saturday Night's main event show back in the early days is getting better than what we're seeing on AEW TV. And AEW is supposedly coming out with a new show called Dynasty, which may be the all-women's show. That's scary.
I'm all for an all-women's show, just not booked by Tony Khan.
But you can't watch them because then they'll complain, you know? You can't. Nobody recognizes me without with pants on. Oh, they always look at me for my accent. Of course, it's interesting how the women of AEW stopped that stuff pretty quickly there. Oh,
you mean that
shocking
video never came out?
It's just, yeah, I know. Shocking. There was no timeless Tony Storm tonight. Holy crap. Anyways.
Practically the go-home show?
Yes. This was their go-home. Well, they have 2 more shows to kill us with, but anywho. Good God. Sky Blue versus Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander coming out with Will Nightingale and Stokely Hathaway. I don't know why. I don't really care. Sky Blue came out with Julia Hart. This is the highlight of the night. You got to see Sky Blue. Sky Blue gets a win. Stokely tries to get Chris Statlander to use a change. She and Will Nightingale fight with him. No. Julia Hart comes in and nails Chris Statlander in the back with the belt, allowing Julia Hart to hit the code blue and get the 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're an ass. You give this match 2 stars, but you give Orange Cassidy and Nick Wayne 5. This match went 9 minutes, 36 seconds, and was way better than an Orange Cassidy and Nick Wayne match. This is a good women's match. I mean, if any match on the show was good, this was good. Both women looked strong. I don't know if I really like the story they're telling with Stokely Hathaway. I guess if you're watching more Ring of Honor, you'll get the connection. But it's just kind of odd. I don't know where they're going with the storyline.
They're maintaining well enough on AEW TV because it's the same storyline either way, but it's not like a great story. It's just kind of there.
So yeah, I'm not going to review this step-by-step match. This was a good match, though. I think it was a decent match between the women. But it, I'm not going to say it was a 5-star match. I would say it would probably be a 3-star match, not a 2-star match. But I don't know how you can say Sky Blue and Chris Statlander get 2 stars, but Nick Wayne and Orange Cassidy get 5 stars. Whoever wrote this, you're smoking. James Father James Mitchell something, and I don't know what to say. What were your thoughts on this match?
I enjoy Sky, watching her. Let's throw out the ideas like, okay, yes, we can talk about how the women are attractive, blah blah. Let's just talk about the wrestling. I enjoyed the match. I like Sky Blue. I like Chris Statlander. But again, it's like it's not a great story. It's not a bad story. It's just kind of there. I'm entertained by Stokely Hathaway, so maybe that's kind of where I get a little bit more of my silver lining.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're a little more tuned into that than I am, but I mean, it's it's what it is. Anyways, from there, we are back with Matthew and Nicholas. They're walking around with bats, looking for Sting. They finally come to Sting's locker room. They walk into his locker room, and there's a bunch of bats hanging around, and there's a mirror. And there's a red light. It's red lights with a bunch of bats hanging from the ceiling and a mirror. And I tell you what, Nicholas hits a chair with a bat. He gets all brave and slaps a chair with a bat. Like, why? Anyways, then Matthew was staring into the mirror, and I got really scared because I'm like, please tell me we're not going to go WCW Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior moment here. Sting's not going to magically appear in the mirror, with Matthew and them there. And again, what we got might have just been worse because we got nothing. We got absolutely nothing out of it. They walked in, hit a chair with a bat, stared in the mirror, and that was the end of it. And you're like, what was the point of any of that? How does that have any effect on anything?
No point to that segment.
It was a red lit room, which didn't make sense because we're not talking NWO Wolfpack Sting here. So I don't get the red light. The bats hanging from the ceiling, cool. The mirror in the room was like you were going, okay, you have a mirror here. What's the you gave us you set up a room, you did all this work to set up the room, and there was no follow through, there was no purpose, there was nothing. It was the stupidest thing I've seen in a long time. Because you're just like, they went around hunting for Sting, and then they found his locker room, and then they went into a room, and they're like, oh, are these mind games? I'm like, well, if these are mind games, then I guess we're working on a G level mind game, because yeah.
I think toddlers have more impressive mind games than this.
I think you would have been better to walk into a room full of the Teletubbies or Barney or something. I mean, I don't.
Jeez.
I don't even know what to say about this segment. It just hurt my head that bad.
Moving on.
Anyways, from there we got Chris Jericho against Atlantis Jr. CMLL star. He's the world something champion of something. I don't remember, nor do I really care.
He's basically their junior heavyweight, lightweight, whatever you want to call it.
He's like the world global
lightweight champion.
Yeah, the historic world global blah blah blah. You're like, okay, cool. And he shoves his belt in Jericho's face like it's something important too, which is just like, hey. And Jericho's out here tonight playing the Coronado de Leon. He's the lion.
Lionheart character.
Yeah, he's Lionheart, just Jericho, which who cares? He doesn't look like the Jericho back then. He can barely move like the Jericho back then. That's the other fact in that. Atlantis tries a handshake, but Jericho checks him with the right. Atlantis shoots Jericho to the corner. Insecure, cross body. Whip to Jericho. He tries for a monkey flip. Out the corner, Jericho holds on. Atlantis gets some crowd love and hits it. He tries for another monkey flip. Gets it. He goes for a third, but Jericho shoots him off and picks the legs for some walls of Jericho, or for people who want to call it right, a
Boston Crab.
Thank you. He locks it in, but Atlantis gets the rope. Jericho clubs the back and tries to remove the mask. Here comes and pops, and as Aubrey checks on the mask, Atlantis chokes Jericho with a towel, which looked really stupid. Atlantis had like the towel like this over Jericho's neck, and Jericho's like, ah! And I'm like, God, that is horrible looking. Like Jericho can't figure out how to get out of that. He can't poke the guy in the mouth. Jesus Christ. Jericho leaves the ring to argue, and Junior hits a suicide dive. Junior sends Jericho into the apron head first. He grabs the legs and catapults Jericho into the ring post. Junior drags his steps to the side of the apron, grabs Jericho, lifts him up for a power bomb, but can't get him up. Then they try it again and move 2 steps closer so Jericho can hit a Hurricane Rana, sending JR into the steps. And this is a bad bot. She went up to power bomb, couldn't get him all the way up, and then he had to step forward so they could time this and actually hit the steps, or it was going to be a major fail. Which was horrible. Anyways, we are back. We got a commercial. Jericho's on the apron, heads to the top rope. Junior meets him up there and arm drags him off the corner. This is an art. Okay, well, they said on the announce table, oh, it was a bulldog. Excalibur saying they bulldogged him off. It looked like an arm drag. I don't know. It looked like he just took him by the head and planted him in the ring. It didn't look like a very safe move. But anyways, JR messes with the right, rolls through, but Jericho's waist lifts up for German. Cover 1-2. Junior to the corner. Jericho chops. Jericho climbs, grabs JR and pulls him off the top rope, then drags Junior with a face plant off the top rope. This was a callback to the match 20 years ago, but they came off looking rough. Yes, it did. Chop to JR in the corner. Whip. JR flies over Jericho. Power slam to Jericho in the middle of the ring. Cover for 2. Kick from Junior. Big boots from Jericho. Jericho bounces off the ropes. Flies. JR. Junior ducks. Atlantis Jr. Jericho crashes on the outside. Atlantis hits the ropes. Flies over the top rope. Atlantis tosses Jericho into the ring. Climbs to the top, looks to fly, but Jericho clips the legs. Jericho with the right hand. He chops Atlantis. Atlantis with an elbow, but Jericho hits him with another chop. Jericho mounts and gets a 10-count punch in the most just, I mean, these were freaking love taps. Then we get a head scissors by Atlantis flying. Atlantis swings for a Judas effects. Atlantis ducks or Jericho goes for a Judas effects. Atlantis ducks under, gets Jericho on top of his shoulders and stretches Jericho for an Atlantis spin. And they said, "Oh, Jericho's in trouble." He's kind of up in a surfboard stretch, reverse torture rack type of maneuver. Jericho eventually gets out of it, sweeps the feet, walks in another Boston Crab, even though they're calling it the Wall of Jericho's. It was not the Wall of Jericho's. Atlantis is near the ropes, but Jericho pulls him back to the center ring, and Atlantis Sr. throws in the towel. A la whoever did it for Bob Backlund. I totally forget what the name of that person was. A la Stu Hart for Bret Hart. They threw in the towel and killed this match. This match went 12 minutes, 3 seconds, and made no sense. Made absolutely no sense. It was boring. It was slow and choppy and botchy. Neither of these two looked good or had any fluid in it. And then Atlantis Sr. thrown in the towel, just kind of like out of nowhere. I'm just kind of like, anywho. But after the match, they all get in there and they hug and they raise each other's hands. And Jericho's telling Atlantis Sr. to get out of the camera way because Atlantis Sr., I guess, is not used to it. I don't know. It looked bad. Even after the match, they all kind of stumbled around and hugged each other and raised hands. And
It was whatever.
Save me, Mr. Clarke. Save me.
The thing. Regardless of the towel being thrown, and that's what they really want to emphasize, apparently. Atlantis was tapping out anyways. So no matter what, he was not winning this match. Like, while the towel's being thrown in, he's tapping out. It's on camera. But they want to emphasize the towel being thrown in. I'm like, he was giving up. Who cares? This match was over, I guess. That was the signal. Jeez.
I don't even know how to take this match. Because, I mean...
From a business side, it looks like they're trying to help CMLL guys get over in America.
Are they? Are they if they lose every time to everybody?
I said from a business side. I didn't say it from Tony Khan's bad booking perspective. I didn't say this is the way to actually do it. I just think that was on paper the agreement. And
everybody understands this was our main event of the night. Other than the Sting moment, this was our main event. This was the main event on AEW Dynamite. This was the main event match.
Show.
For the show, this was the main event. Yes, we had the Sting thing afterwards, but this was the last match, which would be qualified as the main event of the match. And this was a garbage match. Chris Jericho. Chris, I think you're done. I mean, you don't move like you used to. You try. You're kind of boring. You get some applause, but I think Jericho's just done. I think everybody's just over Jericho. Are you really?
I mean, a good story would help with the perception of him. But the problem is they're not giving him a good story. He is getting older. He is, slowing down a bit. It is what it is. At least he's not Jeff Hardy bad.
Or Matt. Sorry, I know you're a Matt lover, but Matt is even moving pretty slow and bad to these days, too. So, I mean...
I wasn't going to talk about Mr. Version 1, but okay.
So... You watch the Hardy Boys wrestle, you watch Chris Jericho wrestling, you feel like this is WCW when they first started bringing in all the old WWE guys of Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and Hacksaw and DiBiase and IRS and everybody else. You're just like, ugh.
As the kids would say, it was cringe.
Young Bucks are here with their wannabe Succession music. Yes, they have new music. It's not anything. Whatever. They come out. There's a bunch of people wearing Sting masks, and out of the audience jumps Darby Allin. He attacks, but they quickly beat him down. They hit the EVP trigger, and damn, the lights go out. Matt slams a bat to the gut. Nick with a stomp. Matt looks to the top of the ramp, and he calls someone out. And ladies and gentlemen, the music hits, and here's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. We had been blessed so long not to see Ric Flair really on TV, and now here he is coming down to the ring. He's all smiles. The Nature Boy's here, setting up for what looks like a turn on Sting and Darby. Nick and Matthew and Nicholas continue to stomp down Darby as Flair takes his sweet-ass time. Yes, he did. Luckily, he didn't strip all the way down. He just removed his jackets. He enters with a thumbs up. Matt hands Rick a back. Rick looks to swing and drops the bat, thumbs Nick in the eye very, very softly, might I say, and then gives the softest love tap of a right hand to Matt and starts chopping him with the most gentlest of chops I've ever seen. Ric Flair looked bad here. And then from behind, Nicholas, comes up behind Ric Flair and goes like this. For the softest low blow in wrestling history. I mean, it was so slow-mo, so delicate. I mean, I guess he was afraid of breaking Flair's family jewels. I mean, I've never seen anybody just go so deliberately, so slow, so catatonically. Just, oh my God. It was just so gentle. Like, he didn't want to hurt Ric Flair. Like, okay, if it's that bad, then why is he in a ring? If he's that bad that you're worried about hurting him that bad, that you have to be that gentle to pull off a low blow to make anything make sense, it just kills everything. It is garbage.
Anyway, you have to book this.
They clank backs. And Sting. Okay, where did we go from here? Matt and Nick, any different coming back? I don't know. Okay, here we go. I jumped. Okay, so Ric Flair gets a low blow. Think he's doing Ric Flair flavor, yeah. Sting's music finally hits. Matthew and Nicholas walk up the ramp, ready to attack Sting. Sting comes down from the rafters, a la Crow Sting, a la WCW. And again, AEW just revels and just glorifies. So they bask in the glory of wanting to be WCW 2.0. You're a failure, Tony Khan. If this is what you think is good wrestling, to repeat everything, to repeat everything that WCW did, because you think it was so great, and you think that's what's going to get you on the tape or the platform of WWE, dude, you're rushing to the end of WCW. I mean, you're like, you started off hot like good WCW, but you're already at the 1999 WCW level already. Like, you're about to have no legs to stand on. And somebody, go ahead, tell me when I'm telling lies. Anyway, Sting comes down from the rafters, why would you drop a 60-year-old man from the rafters after everything that's happened with certain people who've dropped from the rafters? And the fact of the matter, I don't know. How do you feel? They have their Owen Hart Cup every year, right? And now they're dropping Sting from the rafters. I just don't know about that image, especially knowing Owen's wife. I don't know. We might not have an Owen Hart Cup match after this. I don't know why you're dropping a 60-year-old Sting from the rafters. He unhooks. Matt and Nick turn and see him, and how this is any different. And then we get to come back. They clank bats. Sting has a black one and a white one. Beats him off. Chops him off. We get a coffin drop on the Bucks. Sting stings Nick in the ring. Scorpion death drop. Flair, Darby, and Sting staying tall as the Bucks walk away, crying, boo-hooing. I hope this doesn't lead to the Young Bucks beating Sting in his last match. Yes, I get Sting is probably old traditional and passing the titles and giving the win to the Young Bucks, but the Young Bucks don't need that win. I don't know why they're not giving somebody who could use a rub from Sting and winning. If Sting wins, then at least maybe the tag team titles can go into a tournament, but I don't even know if WWE or AEW can pull off a tournament anymore that would feel special, elite, or anything else. This show was trash through and through, and then it ended in trash. When you put Ric Flair out there and he's like, I mean, he couldn't even move. He moved like he talked last week. Yeah. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts? And that's what I thought.
AEW started as the spiritual successor to the good aspects of WCW, and within 5 years, they were becoming the ending and the bad parts of WCW. I don't know what to say. And just in the same way, for the longest time, the only person you could really ultimately blame in WWE was Vince McMahon, because he was the last word. You have to look at Tony Khan in the same manner.
Yeah.
And we can, every podcaster, every fan, everyone can give him tips on, like, this is what we want to see instead, or this is how you could do it different. Or, we can give him all the constructive criticism. Not just saying, oh, you suck, but actual constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't seem to matter. And then you talk about the tribalist fans that just eat up whatever is served up. I really don't understand how
Dave Meltzer
drunk. Dave Meltzer, he should be. Yes, he's been in the journalism, but he's getting to be like later years Vince McMahon, just so out of touch.
I don't know. I mean, and I know people are going to be out here praising the show, and if you like this show, that's fine. I mean, I don't agree with you, and you don't have to agree with me, and that's fine. That's just how this world's supposed to work. Whether people understand this or not, it is better for two people that can disagree on things to get along. Me and this man for 20 plus years now, 30 years, I guess now, I've not always seen eye to eye. I was a Shawn Michaels fan. He was a Bret Hart fan. We don't agree on a lot of things, but we are able to coexist and be really close friends and work together and do a lot of things, even though we may see things differently, but we also have a mutual respect that I can share an opinion with him. He'll give me his feedback. I'll give him his feedback, and we have a conversation, whether you want to call it a debate sometimes, not a big arguing debate, but we both say, hey, no, this is why I see this way. Well, I think this way. And sometimes we learn something from each other. Every once in a while, like, you know what? You have a valid point. I see what you're thinking, Sometimes we've helped each other change our thoughts a little bit, not necessarily changed our great outlook on life altogether, but, yeah. And that's what this is all about. You can love the show, and that's fine. I mean, and we're not here to say you can't like the show. If you like what you're seeing and you think Tony Khan's doing great, that's great. I don't see it, and we're welcome to your statements. And if you want to put your 2 cents in and say this is why you think it's great, we'll listen to it, and maybe you have a valid opinion. I don't know. But for us, it's not living up to the hype. I mean, Will Ospreay coming out like he is in his first appearance as officially All Elite, there was not enough fanfare. There was not a lot of production. And I don't know why they introduced him in Huntsville, Alabama. Why was he not being introduced at Revolution for the first time in the match? Why wasn't he somewhere big that was going to draw a big crowd? And this is what worries me about big business. Tonight, Mercedes Moné is going to show up. Now, Mercedes Moné will get a crowd. She'll get a big pop. But if she doesn't come out feeling like Mercedes Moné should feel, it's going to fall flat. And I know my biggest fear and Mr. Z's biggest fear, and I think Mr. Clarke trying on this, the other aspect, that if AEW presents Okada that night, we are deathly afraid of how they're going to present the Rainmaker. Because the Rainmaker is a prestigious...
They've already presented him.
Yes.
Already. Just,
No, it is. It's going to be... It's a scary major fail. And if they've got Okada and Mercedes Moné, and they bring them out both that night, they'll get pops. They'll be great for a little bit, but our biggest fear is just the presentation of them. And even when they said, oh, Huntsville tonight, the Huntsville crowd was like, yay, and it died. Like, even the Huntsville crowd wasn't excited to get their own cheap pop.
Ain't that just some stout stuff?
I don't know. I mean, TNA is talking about going into Full Sail University and recording their videos for Full Sail University. And the WWE has moved out. They've gone to the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando. That's a part of the Performance Center. So TNA is looking to going into Full Sail and recording their shows. I think Tony Khan needs to go back to Daily's place or find a place that is centrally located in the southeast, Florida, Georgia, the Atlanta, Jacksonville, even Orlando area, maybe Greensboro, North Carolina, somewhere where he can just do a show and build everything up around it. He goes into these crowds and they're not bringing in attendance. If we don't get Rainmaker as the Rainmaker, this will not look good. We're going to get Rainmaker Okada, but you're not going to get. You're never going to get New Japan Pro Wrestling Rainmaker Okada. He'll be presented as AEW Rainmaker Okada. So, I mean, when you say we better get Rainmaker, yeah, you're going to get a Rainmaker version, watered down, AEW style, and they've already failed at this. Because here's the big thing. Telling us about big business is great, but why aren't you already introducing these people? Why are you not saying Mercedes Moné is going to be here for big business when it's already obvious in everything they've done, and building video packages to get us excited to see Mercedes Moné? Same thing with Okada.
Even if they didn't name drop her, they should be putting innuendos. They should be putting pieces of sarcasm and pieces of Easter eggs to get that interest. That's what got CM Punk. Why everyone knew CM Punk was coming when he came into AEW.
Yes,
because they didn't name drop him, but they gave many Easter eggs. It's like it's obvious.
They built the hype and got everybody excited, and was the biggest moment of AEW history. Mercedes Moné might touch on that, but the Will Ospreay, even tonight, Will Ospreay. I mean, you having him coming out to Huntsville. Huntsville was not. They cheered. We got an Ospreay chant, but it wasn't. It wasn't the impact that you needed to introduce Ospreay.
No, not at all.
And if you're going to do something, do it right. I mean, WWE's outshined Tony Khan. I mean, look how they reintroduced CM Punk. I mean, they changed the world.
They just had Shawn Spears in NXT.
No, exactly. I don't know. And here's how I look at it. He doesn't want to draw a house. If he would just drop a damn breadcrumb, he'd make, Here's the sad part. You look at a Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker. You look at a Will Ospreay. You look at a Mercedes Moné. You look at these names and go, they're going to be performing in less than average 3,000 to 5,000 people. They're going from Japan. Mr. Z, what's an average attendance for a New Japan show? Unless you know Mr. Clarke.
Depends if they're doing a big show or smaller show. Because they go on tours and it's kind of different everywhere.
Well, in Japan,
but it's usually multiple thousands.
Yes, I mean in Japan, I know they're going to be drawing the audience. Now in the United States, they might not draw huge crowds. How many people?
In Japan, some parts of their tours are smaller places, and some of them are bigger.
Yeah, we know when they go into Tokyo Dome, they blow everything out. But yeah,
yes.
How many people were at New Japan Battle in the Valley this year, Mr. Z? I'd be interested in what that number was. I guess that wasn't a very big facility, though. I don't know. I would look at these guys and know that they performed in front of very big crowds, and I don't think AEW is ever going to be able to get those crowds again. I think it's died. In the sense that AEW is going to be around, it's going to be flavored like TNA, it's going to be another cockroach. Tony Khan and his dad have too much money to pump into it, sadly, to keep it afloat. And that's fine, and they can exist.
That depends, though, if they can maintain a TV deal.
They had 7,000 people at Battle in the Valley?
I believe that's what he's referring to.
That's a huge crowd for Battle in the Valley. I mean, that's a big number.
Turn up.
Oh, exactly. But I mean, I believe Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay and Mercedes Moné are expecting big crowds. If they're going into these places where there's 2,000 people. I mean, we even see what happened when Adam Copeland showed up, and he was like, "Oh, there's nobody over here. Excuse me." So I mean, I just don't know how you're going to keep these people. Now, yes, AEW can exist on its thing, but I think it's died. I think the fans that were watching it in the beginning because it was something different than WWE, and we were so angry at Vince that we almost gave Tony Khan a pass on a lot of things in the early days, and they were new, but they also had direction. I think as long as Cody was there, it felt alive, fresh, and was going somewhere. Cody left, and it feels like that shift, and Tony Khan taking full control back We felt another shift, and it's just never recaptured. And it's constantly trying to change itself to fit some mold that it's not working. And I'm sorry, your show's not going to last. You can bring in all these big guys, you can stick all these wrestling matches together, and the diehard fans are going to love it. The fans who love that style of wrestling are going to love it. But you can't cater it. It's what we sometimes get mad about WWE, and I know it, and we know it, and we get mad at things WWE does. But we also know that WWE is catering to the mass audience. So WWE is going to cater to that casual fan base because that's where they're going to get their numbers. They already have us hardcore fans, so they're not necessarily always worried about us. They know what to do to make us happy. They know what to do to make us happy, and they give us those feedbacks, but they also know that they're going to give things that are going to draw on the mass audience, the casual fans. AEW does nothing that I see to draw the attention of the casual fans, except name drop people. They're going to get Mercedes Moné. It's going to be a drop. The casual fans will tune in for a couple of weeks, but they're not going to give you anything to really feel invested with Mercedes Moné.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to rush her.
Depends on what they give her.
They'll rush her to Double or Nothing. That'll be the next big pay-per-view that we know of. And she may be going with Tyme with Storm, or we're going to have Britt Baker return, and it'll be her and Britt Baker. And that'll be great. And then once it's done, though. I don't think they can continue to carry her. And here's what I say. If Dynasty is supposed to be, and supposedly Mercedes Moné is a big pusher of the women having their own wrestling show, which is good, but who's booking this? Are we going to have Jennifer Peppermint, I think is her name? Is she going to be the writer controller, or is it going to be Tony Khan booking this? If Tony Khan's booking an all-women's show, I think we're dead. And then what happens? Are we going to only have the women on the all-women's show, or are the women going to be on, all the other shows? So are we going to have 4 shows a week with women on it? How long does that really last and keep people interested? I mean, I think, yes, you could have a good women's show if you build up all the women on your roster and give them attention, but if you're only featuring the main ones on the main shows, I don't know. You got another Ring of Honor, you got another Dark or Elevation issue where the little people play on those shows, and people who are hardcore fans who want to watch that are going to watch it, but your casual viewers are just not going to go there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, how many Dark and Elevation episodes did you watch versus how many did I watch?
Not many, because I just,
just didn't interest you.
No, not at all. And I don't know. After tonight, and I know there's probably people out here praising the show, saying this is the greatest show. AEW is doing hot things. I don't know how they see it. I mean, I know people are chanting Wardlow's promo last week was amazing. It's right where he needs to be. And I'm like, he hit points. He got the cheap pops. Cool, but I'm probably not invested in Wardlow anymore because I've seen where we was building. I'm just like, why am I going to get invested in another guy that they built up before dropped the ball on when I feel they're just going to do the same thing? And he's already in a storyline that's repeating. He's in a stable where the head of the stable is using him to get the world title. And it's just like, why does, if you want me to believe that he's this unstoppable force and out of control monster, then why is he even aligned in this stable that is already dead too? I mean, the whole Undisputed Kingdom is dead. You have that Roderick Strong is more over than Adam Cole. Adam Cole, you have to have Adam Cole there every week to continue this devil storyline. You're not even talking about MJF or having any relevancy to it. So that's dead. And Matt Taven and Mike Bennett feel like 2 jokers. I mean, they're just like, I can't take Undisputed seriously. Mr. Z, let's see, my wife just said that it won't last long because it was gonna be a serious thing. WWE would have capitalized on the Evolution pay-per-view.
Timeline's a bit off, and also different company.
Yes.
But I understand the point.
No. I don't know if there's women's wrestling out there, mostly in Japan. I mean, that's where I hear most of them, but I mean, I know there's WOW of women of wrestling out there, but that's kind of
as far as televised companies, WOW is the only one. But you have Shine, you have Shimmer, you do have indie, companies, all female companies. And but everyone that you see, not everyone, but damn near everyone in WWE, you see there, we're on the independent indies.
Yeah.
Like a Shimmer, like a Shine, like other Florida-based companies, to be honest.
And they have a fan base that comes and watch it, but they don't have enough of a fan base to push it to a next level.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know if AEW can do that. They have a good women's roster, but I don't know how long Tony Khan can I don't believe Tony Khan can book a women's show on top of the 3 other shows on top of Ring of Honor that he already has destroyed, and maintain the status quo without overexposing the women in one sense, but also maintaining interest. Because Tony Khan only plays with his favorite toys.
Yeah.
And then he brings in random people with no background storyline, brings them in for a couple weeks, and then they disappear. So they're either on a handshake deal or a short-term contract. But it's like, and then we rinse and repeat. I mean, Serena Deeb is going to be important for a while. I mean, right now we're just waiting for Britt Baker and...
Speaking of which, where's Serena Deeb? She had a couple of good, video packages, and then I don't recall seeing her.
I think she's been on Collision. Oh, let's talk about Thunder Rosa. I mean, everybody cries for Thunder Rosa, and it's like, wee. And then we have Britt Baker and, what's her name?
Jamie Hayter.
Yeah. And we don't even hear anything. Why aren't you doing anything to keep Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker's names important? If Britt Baker's injured, why are you not doing her office stuff? Her doctor's DMD, the waiting room, whatever it was called, where she can be doing interview segments, getting some of these storylines over. Why aren't you helping her help get Adam Cole and this Devil Line storyline over? I mean, she's injured, she can't get in the ring, but why not keep Britt Baker with the waiting room? I mean, that's a great segment. That helps take and do things when people are injured, gives them something to do. I mean, throughout all of our lives, have we not had some of the best segments in wrestling have either happened in these interview segments? Come on, let's go back to the Piper's Pit where Jimmy Snuka got hit with the coconut over the head. Piper's Pit where Andre the Giant turned on Hulk Hogan. Let's talk about the Brother Love show. Let's talk about the funeral parlor. Let's talk about Bruce Barber Beefcake in the barber shop where Shawn Michaels turned on Marty Jannetty and threw him through the plate glass. Or if you're Bobby Heenan, oh my gosh, he jumped through the window. Look what it did for the career of Shawn Michaels when he had the Heartbreak Hotel. I mean, that was a magical sense. Jerry the King Lawler's in the King's Court. KO on the KO show. Look what it's doing for Grayson Waller and the Waller effect right now. Grayson Waller's over with that stuff. Jericho had his own talk show. Who else? The Miz, Miz TV. Miz TV had a great show. And there's always been these shows that they've added in here to help build characters or give people who are injured something to do to keep them relevant. Why aren't we having the waiting room? I mean, there's plenty of times you could use the waiting room than using Renee Paquette in the background to do an interview in a segment that doesn't necessarily always make sense. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen,
hell, you could even have Britt Baker in the waiting room and have Renee Paquette as a part of that.
Yes. Yes. No. You guys want to push crappy shows with RJ City, whatever it's called.
That's a YouTube thing only. You can't get pissy about that.
Yes, but if they would use that to be a
thing,
if they would use that to really help people get over, why aren't they using these elements that they have, even if it's on YouTube, to get stars over? Take these lesser names or these brand new names and give them us, have them sit down and tell us who they are so we can learn about who they are.
I think that's more what AEW Unrestricted is about. Their YouTube interview show.
They don't even promote that and get it over. That's the thing. How many people really know that exists and really go and watch it? Out of the non-hardcore fans. And Tony Khan is a mark, and Tony Khan wants to answer to the marks, and that's what Tony Khan focuses on, and Tony Khan will not last long with AEW. Now, money-wise, yes, he can keep this afloat forever. I mean, this could be another TNA cockroach deal. They'll be there. They'll just kind of be that company that every once in a while they'll get lucky and get something good, like TNA has at moments in time. I mean, TNA in the beginning had some good stuff. When they had Extreme, what was it? Sex,
Sports Entertainment Extreme.
Extreme, yes. They had something. They had something hot there. When they had BG James and Kip James over there and doing the Voodoo King Mafia stuff and blending that line without necessarily overshadowing and just using all the W. They had enough there. And then when they brought in Sting, they changed the whole dynamic thing. When Kurt Angle came in, it was a big hot production. When they had the Hulk Hogan and Immortal, people tuned in to see it, and they had some good stuff there. It wasn't always perfect. And then they brought in the Aces 8 story, which is really great. Of course, it ended really sadly because that was pretty much the end of AJ Styles and TNA, but then AJ Styles went and reinvented himself and went to New Japan Pro Wrestling, joined the Bullet Club. And Mr. Miguel, I do have one more question for you. How do you feel to know that very, very soon the majority of the members of the original Bullet Club are going to be in WWE? Because if you're looking at Prince Devitt or Finn Balor, he's going to be there. We know Carl Anderson's there. And we know that now it looks like Tama Tonga's there. I mean, that's at least 3 of the original founding members, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, Bullet Club is ruling the world of wrestling. We always wanted DX to rule the world of wrestling, and they are ruling the world of WWE, but Bullet Club is really ruling the world of wrestling because they're in New Japan, they are in TNA, they are in AEW with the lesser AEW. Oh, and we didn't even talk about the segment with Jay White and the Guns, the Bullet Club Gold with the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, where you had Jay White do the thing where everybody loves the Acclaim, bang, bang. So if you were looking for like the Bullet Club Gold to turn on the Acclaim, I don't think we're going to get that anytime soon. I think this is going to stay because I guess there's a fan base who's liking this shit, but Jay White, Safety Scissors, Mother Trucker is dead. If I was Jay White, I'd be begging, paying, doing anything to get it released. If I was Miro, I'd be ready to go. If I was Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, I'd be ready to go. And I mean, how can you not be a Miro and a Malachi Black and looking at what they've done with Jade Cargill, Cody Rhodes, Lexus King, Andrade El Idolo in just a couple promos? Andrade El Idolo feels like, yeah, I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it. And then look at what they did in one night on NXT with the return of Shawn Spears.
Shawn Spears, yeah. Here's the thing. Even if WWE right now is too bloated and can't take all these other guys back on, they would also make a killing in the indies. Look at what Matt Cardona has done.
Oh, yeah. Bullet Club ruling the world, though, but I mean, it's awesome. But yeah, Tama Tonga looks like he has signed, as everything is pointing out. Now, take that all with a grain of salt. There's nothing in fact, but everybody has very much been pretty much reporting that Tama Tonga has signed with WWE, is the wording. I believe that comes from Fightful, is that he has, at least what they understand, he has signed. So we'll have to see, which would make sense. I don't know why Tama Tonga would go to AEW. I don't think.
No, stay away. Stay away.
Yes.
Jeez.
Tama Tonga is marked safe from AEW.
I hope so.
Jeez. So we're going to have to wait and see. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone on, we've rambled, we talked, we discussed, we buried it until it's beaten. This was a horrible show, in my opinion, and I'm sorry if you don't agree. It's perfectly fine. You can drop your comments below. Tell us what you thought was great about the show. You can always vote in the voting poll, which had 6 votes. And it's a tie, a 3-way tie on 6 votes. We have 33% at awesome, 33% at rather drink melted butter soda, and 33 people who think it just needs to all be, 33% of people think it should all be burnt down to the ground. We have 21 viewers over the course of the show, so that's awesome. Appreciate you. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, it gets out in the algorithm. Hit that bell for notifications so whenever new content comes up, you'll be aware of it. Whenever we go live again, which will be Friday night after SmackDown, which should be huge. The Rock's going to be there. Can't wait to figure out what the response to Rock and all this is. Hopefully we get more Hollywood Rock. Hopefully Dwayne is hearing our cries for a little bit. I know a lot of people thought Rock's promo last week was great. I don't think so. I think we want that seriousness, the Hollywood Rock, a little more than the Rudy Tooty, Fruity Booty Rock that we got.
Domination Rock.
Exactly. Anyways. So that's going to be good. Mr. Clarke has a new video package, the weekly review show that brings...
Weekend preview coming up.
There you go.
Morning.
That'll be up in the morning where he talks about everything that's coming up in the next following week, which is TNA, SmackDown, AEW Revolution, because that's coming up, and then next week's Monday Night Raw and AEW Dynamite, maybe NXT and whatever else is in between there. And NXT may be getting on the channel. I don't know if it'll be a solo review show, but after last night's where I sat and watched the whole NXT show, it's been a long time since I really sat down. I really liked NXT. They're doing some great things down there. And of course, R-Truth was recently at the Performance Center where he was telling... You got a little bit of Shawn Michaels in you. You got a little bit of Shawn Michaels in you. If you do what you need to, you could be very well the next Shawn Michaels, and the camera pans around and it's freaking Shawn Michaels. Oh, R-Truth plays some great stuff. I can't wait to see what's going to go on. But ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for being here. We're going to get out of here. This has been your AEW Dynamite review for February 28th, 2024. We appreciate you. Please hit that subscribe button, join the Value Wrestling family, become part of the fastest growing podcast in the IWC. We are contenders, not pretenders, in the world of wrestling podcasting. We got some breaking stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm going to get with Mr. Miguel Z very, very shortly. Once we get some things ironed down, we may very well have our very first formal interview. And I can't wait to get in that. I can't wait to get connected with more people so we can do more interviews, because that is a huge game changer. I'm excited. I know Mr. Clarke's excited. We have a lot of things, ladies. I'm telling you, there are things we're already cooking in the back of our mind. We just know there's a time and a place that it's all going to expand. And when we get there, this thing's going to blow up, and you're going to be part of something that's going to be awesome, that's going to change the face of wrestling podcasts. Because we're not just here to play. We're here to make change. Any last comments you want to make?
Too bad, the Mrs. theme is copywritten. I came to play.
Oh, you got to believe we came to play, but not play in one way. It's not even. We didn't even come to play. We came to take it by storm, and that is the goal, ladies and gentlemen. So join the Value Wrestling family. I promise you, joining the Value Wrestling, hitting that subscribe button, you're going to be in for some awesome stuff. And if you don't think we aren't trying to march to a place where we can start doing giveaways, contests, events, all these wonderful things, there's a lot of things coming. We're just waiting for that right moment, and we're going to get there before the end of this year. I promise you, before the end of 2024, the Value Wrestling is going to be on a whole different level, and we're going to be the talk of the town. So I've rambled. I've said it 1,000 times, 1,000 ways, and that's okay. We appreciate you for being here. We appreciate everybody who supports us, but we're going to get out of here. We're going to say goodnight.
Hey, it's your boy.
Well, that's the wrong video. Let's get that right out of here. Let's